you in. That would be fun.
I would love a walk-on song.
Right. Welcome to Speaking Of. I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
So, where to start this week?
Oh, my goodness.
Because there's a lot. A lot. Don't misunderstand that awkward pause. There's a lot. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
No, I'll let you go first because I don't want to hear about awkward pauses again. So there's that. Okay. So, in one of our last episodes, I made everyone aware that I had a traffic violation. Oh, yes.
So
putting his dirty laundry out.
Putting my dirty laundry out there now. Unfortunately, I can't talk about the situation itself on camera, other than to say it was, blur my face. Other than to say it was the trial of the century, and men in shackles had to wait for me to get done talking.
As they should.
So, yeah, the sad thing is I'm not so much joking about the men in shackles part, but, yeah, no.
Oh, I know.
So, needless to say...
I've been to one of those before.
Needless to say, if you watched the last episode, and I'm not even going to tell you what I did, you're going to have to go watch it.
Yeah,
Watch it,
like it, and share it.
Exactly, all of those things.
Prove it!
So, it all turned out about the way we thought it was going to turn out. So one of the things that
Which means that Jared didn't have to fork over a whole bunch of money.
No. So one of the things I did have to do was go to traffic school.
It's about time.
Yeah, right? So the first thing I have to say is, so I got to do mine online. And all I could
Thank
think
heavens.
while I was doing it online is like, how did people go when this was not an option and sit through this thing with a straight face? But...
Oh, straight face. Well, that changes everything.
So, to talk about this traffic school, to give you an idea, I'm going to tell you what I sent to Kate. So, at one point, one of the questions is, so you're on the road and you have to share the road with these types of vehicles. One of them was airplane.
To which I say, you kind of do.
Well,
I mean, we've had a number of incidents where
it's true,
planes
especially
have to
out
land
here
on
in
the
West
freeway,
Jordan.
Right? I'm just saying. They're not giant planes. People, calm down. But they're still planes, and they're not paper.
Right. But it was all I could do because I really wanted... It was one of those situations with click on all that apply. And I told Kate, I'm like, I really want to click on airplane. I really want to click on airplane.
Probably would have done that too, actually. And then was there a place to fill in? Elephants.
Yeah, right. And tigers and bears. Oh my!
You never know.
So, but I saved this one to purposely tell you on the show.
Okay.
So it comes...
I love when there's surprises.
So again, this is another question with click on all that apply. So the question is, it is important to go the speed limit in residential zones because...
It's the law.
One of the choices is because children make an easy target. So I really feel bad because at the end, and I meant to do this, but after sitting there for 2 hours, I spaced it. Because it left, can you give us feedback about the program? And I wanted to say, I really appreciate the sense of humor because this made it so much better.
Children do make an easy target. Oh, speaking of children.
See there?
I have a tiny little anecdote from my nephew Riley, who provides me with gems quite frequently, but they're difficult to share because it's like a I don't know. But
you have to see the meme. You have to,
kind of. So I get a text message and I see just the text, right, and not the image, and all I see is, "OMG, Amazon, they're called children," and I thought, I can't wait to see what this is all about. And I open it up, and it's a screenshot of Amazon recommendations, and it has for the home, for gifts, for something else, for tiny humans. Amazon, they're called children.
I know. I'm like, part of me doesn't know. I'm like, is that rape? Or no, not racist, but it's something. I'm just not sure what. Tightest for tiny penis.
They're tiny humans.
For tiny humans.
Somebody accused me of being racist lately, and I'm pretty sure it was Beverly.
I need to get a heads up on Beverly, speaking of. But probably she wouldn't appreciate it being done on camera.
We'll discuss that later. Although, speaking of Beverly, I did have... So my sister got me into that whole time hop app thing.
Oh, yeah, I haven't done that. Oh, no, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt.
I should say.
It's bad enough we go every which way, so
Their logo kind of looks like Taco Time.
That's what I've thought when you send me, because every once in a while you'll send me little things, little doodahs.
I do get a lot of Beverly snippets that are quite fun to remember. Today there was one that said, I was saying, he couldn't replace me, maybe as a substitute, but not a full-on replacement. He would burn out faster than you can say burnout. And Beverly replies with, I want you to prove it to me. I don't even know who or what, but I wish I'd proven it to her. Well, regrets. Hashtag regrets.
Well, no, because speaking of things that come up, because, you know, we have Facebook and the memories, here's your memories, and there was one, and I'm going to have to go back and find it now, because it's driving me nuts. There's one that came up with you and I the other day, and you know how we love to speak. I wish I had, because...
Hashtag regrets.
I know, total regrets, because now it's going to require work on my part to go back and find it.
Serves you right.
So, but what it was is I had posted something, and they're code names. And I know they're code names, but do you think I can remember who we're talking about?
I love code names.
And so, yeah, or nicknames, or whatever you want to say that we usually do. But I was stumped, I'm not going to lie. And it was something like, it's been a good something years ago.
Handful, just a little handful.
A little handful.
A tiny human handful.
A tiny human handful. We hear it, speaking of, we're not whatever ist. It is.
We are only elitist.
That's right.
That's the only list we are on.
On. Yes, so speaking of crimes.
Again, oh wait.
Well, no. And this is just more of a random thought, because this also came up recently.
And why wouldn't we have random thoughts about crimes?
Exactly. Speaking of, I can't do any crimes for another 5 weeks, so that jewel heist we were planning, it's gonna have to wait.
You know what? You better not go past that, or I'm gonna have to get the Muppets to do it for me instead. I hear they're good.
Yeah, I can't have any crimes of any kind.
No crimes.
No crimes. So, I was thinking, because it came up the day we stalked Beverly Wesley.
Oh,
and so I just wanted to give a formal shout out and say, thanks for not pressing charges. Because where some people might have found what we did incredibly creepy, he was amused.
What? Creepy? It's flattering is what it is.
That's right, because we took the time. We don't take the time for everybody.
Right? Right, we talk a lot of talk, but not everybody's worth the actual walk. But Beverly Wesley, yes. In fact, Beverly Wesley was in town recently.
Right.
And
in case you didn't know, he's across the pond now.
He's across the pond. And he was in town to visit, and we were going to get to see him. And then, because I guess he's not that smart, went out for sushi. And that pretty much ruined the rest of his vacation.
So we were talking about that, sushi. I've never done it. Have you?
I'm afraid I have. And hashtag regrets.
Well, because that's my thing. I can't get over the visual of it.
You know what?
That's
for me,
my hard part.
It's not even the visual of it for me. A lot of it is the texture.
And it's not cooked.
Yeah. The knowledge that it's raw, the texture, not to mention the seaweed layer. I can't. And it's not just because every time I see seaweed, I have a flashback to producer gagging on it as a child. A tiny human. Thinking he's all cool and he's going to show off because no one else dares to eat the seaweed that our brother sent home from Japan. I'll eat it. I mean, it was rough. Clearly, if I'm still flashing back.
I wonder if he'll do a reenactment. I would love it.
I think he eats sushi now, but I don't think they use seaweed. But I'm still just, it's too close. I'm
just imagining an adult producer. That's That's why I want to reenactment so bad.
Robert? Let's call it the reenactment challenge. I hear, because I understand if you put challenge, the word challenge on the end of anything, it will go viral. So,
let's go viral.
Reenactment challenge.
That's right.
Robert, start it.
Yeah. Hashtag speaking of.
Hashtag speaking of no regrets.
Oh, yeah.
Also, speaking of challenges,
Uh-huh.
There's the recent Netflix Bird Box movie.
I heard about that.
I haven't seen the movie, but of course I've seen articles of people being incredibly stupid.
Well, there was a guy
trying everyday
here in Utah that got in a huge wreck.
Was that you here?
I was in Provo, yeah.
I will postpone judgment for a moment. How stupid do you have to be to think for a second that it's okay to try to drive your car blindfolded?
Exactly. And who had to go to court? Me!
Right?
I was not blindfolded.
I dare say he's going to do more than court.
Oh, I dare say.
And the problem with that is that he's blindfolded, therefore he has the relaxed physique of a drunk driver or sleeping driver, and so probably doesn't get injured nearly as much as whoever's like, who is that driving this on?
Well, what I love is, of course, they're all videoing it for their YouTube channels.
I just...
Talk about your evidence.
Right? So that's the other thing, right? Like, we grew up in a time where you could get away with stuff because A, you kept it to yourself, and B, you weren't so stupid.
Oh my gosh.
I tell you what. And so then as we're sitting here and I'm thinking of challenges and the Tide Pod challenge and then the meme of, you guys thought the Tide Pod challenge was cool. You should check out the cotton candy that's in your attic.
Our ceiling isn't finished, in case you didn't know.
We got lots of
We got cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
Oh, candy corn would be fun too. I like how we're looking at this.
Rain down candy corn.
So speaking of challenges, because the 10-year challenge is going on right now.
Okay.
To prove how well you've aged.
Oh, right.
I don't get the concept.
Okay.
But at least that one's safe. That's my point. Like, whoever came up with it.
Ish.
Uh-oh.
I saw an article. I didn't know anything about the 10-year challenge until I saw an article that indicated that, it's just this, innocent little thing. Or is it?
Are people trying to shame us?
No. Or is it an opportunity to, I forgot what it's called. But basically, like photo image tracking. So now we know that this picture and this picture are related, and we can spot you for decades. Or a decade. Anyway.
Well, they can spot us because we haven't changed a bit.
Well, obviously. Hence why I said decades at first. Duh. I forget, not everybody's like us. They just get one.
It's true, though.
Right?
Sorry, not to toot my own horn. But there are people that I look, I'm like, oh my goodness, what has happened to you?
That's my fear, is that I'm going to go someplace and run into somebody and they're going to say, what happened? Really what they're going to say is, what happened? It's all about inflection. Inflection?
Too. Well, I just like that I can run into former students and they tell me I look exactly the same as I did when I taught them. So there.
It's called Dick Clark syndrome.
Is that it? I'm okay with it.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually think Michael J. Fox has it, too.
Oh, yes.
Like, he hasn't changed one iota.
You know who else?
Who?
Jason Bateman.
Oh, Jason Bateman. This is true. Let's talk about his hair. This is hilarious. Only because I have a story for this. Let's talk about his hair. Wait. I got...
You have a story about Jason Bateman's hair.
I do. So, I'm flipping channels the other day. What?
Andrea, pay attention.
So,
okay.
I just find this hilarious. Maybe Andrea will not, but I find it hilarious. So I'm flipping channels the other day. On one channel is the old retro channel, Silver Spoons is on. Jason
Aw.
Bateman is on Silver
Oh, I
Spoons.
forgot about that.
So I'm watching that. In fact, it was really sad. It was the episode where he moved away. And him and Ricky Schroeder hugged it out.
Ricky
It was
Kroger.
sad. It was. So
Remember
I
the time
see
we saw
him.
Ricky Schroeder at Disneyland?
I do. We walked
Anyway.
right by him and Emily had to dip us off. Sorry, Ricky.
Sorry, not sorry. Hashtag regrets.
Wow.
Anyway.
So,
woo! I am caffeine free.
I am not. So then I flip the channel again, and the show, it depends on which version of it you watched, where he was on with Valerie Harper, and that one was called Valerie, and then
Oh,
Valerie got
yeah.
fired, and Sandy Duncan came in, and so then it was The Family or something. Same hair.
Well, yeah.
Same haircut, same everything.
Oh, as Silver Spoons.
Yeah, as in Silver Spoon. So we're talking a progression here. So then
No, wait, there's more.
I plug in my Fire Stick, and a commercial for the Ozark comes up. Same hair!
I dare
Not that it's not a classic hair, but
No,
it just cracked
totally.
me up. And I'm sure he's had different things in between, but I just was laughing that the time period between
it suits him.
all of those shows, it just cracked
Mhm.
me up.
And frankly, thank heavens none of them were mullets or
No.
buzz cuts.
I don't recall
Or-
seeing him. He might have buzzed it once,
I mean, I'm sure he had in his life at some point.
right?
But because of growing up when you didn't have to broadcast everything, we don't know about it. And that's nice.
So anyway, and then I was jealous. I'm like, oh, maybe if I had hair, I'd have classic haircut too.
Maybe.
Maybe. Should I get a hair transplant?
No. No. Speaking of transplants,
All right, let's hear it.
this lady was going to get a brain transplant, but she changed her mind.
She's been into the Laffy Taffies
Oh,
again.
Okay, that's not really what I was going to say, but I forgot what I was actually going to say.
About a
So,
transplant?
No,
Oh.
about something else. Where's producer when you need him? Rewind the tapes.
He's more than welcome to come up and sit with us.
I also invited Beverly to come sit with us.
That would be fun too.
She said maybe.
That's
Right.
all I got to say about that.
Right.
That's all I have to say. All right. I could go on. Do you want me to go on?
I mean,
Because I got a lot to say about Disneyland's price hike.
next time on Speaking of, hashtag regrets.
That's it. I just have a lot to say about it.
Okay.
All right. I think on that note, we'll wrap up.
Let's, like a burrito.
Yes. I'm Jared.
I'm Kate.
We'll see you next time.